Government of Canada, through the Liberal Party, has signed a charter with the World Economic Forum. This charter was signed in November 2020. Imagine, while Canadians were suffering under the trauma of COVID lockdowns, and so many people were concerned about the future, our government signed a charter with the World Economic Forum called the Agile Nations Charter. The irony is that the Agile Nations Charter was signed between our government and the World Economic Forum at the same time that Canadians were complaining about charter violations within our own country. The fact that our government has signed a charter with the WEF is an indisputable fact, and you see it up on the screen. It's unfortunate that it took so long for this fact to actually be confirmed, and that the only reason why it's going to be believed now is that it is in writing in the form of an order paper response from government.
Yes, beautiful and amazing people. Welcome back to the Agile Wars of the Day Real Agile podcasts. Amazing. This is Friday, or almost Friday, February the 3rd. I'm Alexandre Frédéric Joly, the founder and experienced client chair of the Agile Lounge for Business Agility, the real business agility, the real agility, the real Agile Nation, known as Coach AF, especially here on this broadcast. And today, really, I'm welcoming back you here in the lounge, in the virtual lounge. Welcome. Take a seat. Arrive. And it's amazing. I had a list to my audience feedback with suggestion, and so we have so many subjects to come your way. What you just heard at the beginning of this transmission was Dr. Leslyn Lewis. But Dr. Leslyn Lewis, she's also, if I'm correct, she's an M&A, or not an M&A, it's a federal government member of parliament of Alderman Norfolk. I don't know exactly in which province because on her Twitter is not necessarily marked. And this tweet is dated of January the 28th, because after this WEF, this World Economic Forum type of thing. So what happened now, of course, documents are kind of public for those who search, like her and Rebel News. That's the thing. That why did I show you a member of Parliament of Canada talking about this Agile Nation Charter? And you're going to tell me, probably, especially the LinkedIn people, the constipated LinkedIn people, you will say like, oh, what does it have to do on the live streams here on LinkedIn? But here's the thing. I'm broadcasting on Twitter, Rumble, Odyssey, as well as Instagram, and especially my YouTube channel, where I welcome 11 new subscribers. And do like them, subscribe and hit the notification, especially on Rumble and YouTube. So this, I do it every Friday at 12 noon Eastern time. It's an editorial, especially when you see the logo Agile Wars. And despite all the many subjects that I wanted to cover today, this first Friday of February 2023 already. But I decided when I received the news, and as a great agilist myself, as a great business coach, and a believer of this new way of management for more leadership with the agile mindset and culture to help people adapt, help organization adapt. So I said to myself, I cannot let it pass. And I did some kind of research because, of course, when you receive something from Rebel News, a lot of people will say like, oh my goodness, Coach F, you are so conspiracy-y, you are so politics. Why do you bring politics into Agile? Well, the thing is, it's not necessarily politics. This is societal choice. This is part of this great split, once again. And it's like we didn't have enough of the certification, making money, fakeness of agility all around us. Huh? We didn't have enough even inside the soi-disant agile community of all of those faker, all of those pretending to be agile, all of those things that now even some government agency, even some government body They signed treaties from a think tank, and of course, I'm not surprised because McKinsey, is the consulting firm arms for many government of the OCDE, the Western countries, most of the thing, and as you know, in France, England, Australia, Japan, India, even here in Canada, McKinsey is in deep shit. Yes, not deep shit, deep fake for their consulting. And I said to myself, being who I am, I cannot let it pass, especially when you discover, and we're going to discover it together. I'm going to share you. So it's going to be a kind of a short editorial about the special reports of Agile Nation. And once again, for me, my first reaction of all that bullshit is we are using a word that used to be an innovation in software development. Then we brought it with Steve Denning and Mike Beadle into the world of business, the entire enterprise. Right? It's really, for me, it's all about, as Mike Beadle used to say, agilize everything with business agility. Yeah, make business with new ways of thinking and center into the customer centric and stuff. And this is like, it's amazed me when some people, this think tank of the World Economic Forum, they just propose central planning, controlling command. It's all about controlling the community, the civilization, ourselves, more and more. So how could they dare? Because I'm going to dare real agile here. And for me, agility should be more distributed, at least, if not fully decentralized. As we learn in Enterprise Scrum for Business Agility, created by Mike Beadle and 19 others that contributed, like on this, like John Jorgen, Daniel Mezik, and everything. And as I'm recording it, this is a fake live. I admit to you, this is a fake live because this Friday the 3rd, I am right now recording a very awesome interview with a surprise guest, an open mic with a very amazing digital entrepreneur that we're going to talk about decentralization of everything. It's not just agilizing everything, because if you don't take agile and its subsumption model of interrelation, okay, and create something specific for the team or the organization or the market and so on, I don't believe that you have any agility. Agility should be ultra federal, a kind of a ultra federalism, and at least, as I said, could be a distributed because people could have some kind of interdependence between each other. I understand that, but when think tank and agency within agile and outside agile come and impose on us model and framework of central planning, centralization, buddy, well, it doesn't look good. It's again an interference in what will be the movement of elevation of the human spirit, of the human body, and the human experience, utilizing the agile mindset. So that's why I'm stopping this Friday. And I pre-recorded it because, as I said, I'm going to have a great interview at the same time happening, and I cannot do two lives. And this week was important for me to kind of react and also proact, because I just don't want to I don't want to be look like, oh, I'm nagging and I'm screaming about things. But for me, again, the question is, if you remember, the question is, do we want a World Economic Forum, or we would like to have a World Agile Forum, a real agility forum that we could co-create together, and not just from the boring people of the conventional agile framework stock community. So I don't want to have like Scrum Alliance or Agile Alliance or even IC Agile for that matter leading this. No, I would like to be any individual who would like to gather together into a World Agility Forum to propose another way of leadership, but not just within professional services in organization. I think the great ideas from Michael Ehrman, if you watch, you could find it on my Spotify and Apple, as well as on YouTube. You have this great 2 hours I did with Michael Ehrman about 2 years ago, discussing about civil agility, about bringing the business agility mindset into governance, and a real agile governance, even for a society. So it's not for the World Economic Forum to again come up with something And this is the thing, and fuck your fucking chat GPT. Fuck chat GPT. Fuck your artificial thing. Everything artificial is disgusting. Okay, let's put back the human experience into it. I'm sick and tired of this kind of hyper materialism that lead us into nihilism. Okay, that's enough, guys. You look like a stupid bunch of sheep jumping around on social network. Chat GPT will solve everything. I'm going to lose my job and I'll be happy because I own nothing. And in Canada, with the MAID, MAID, I could even be killed if I'm too depressed. We didn't pay attention to Friedrich Nietzsche and William Waksberg warning about this nihilism that we are entering in 2023. And as I said to you at the beginning of this 2023, this is the great realization. Either you realize that you need to wake up and you need to make choice for yourself, your family, and meeting others, and to co-creating a way that you'd like to live in community by choice, by invitation, and with agreement. And this is why we will need a more and more multipolar and decentralized world. This is the response. This is the response to the World Economic Forum and position and command and control central. And let's go see about that crap. And I will show you what I receive. I received it from one of my great friends who is in Costa Rica right now. So that was, I think that's the one. Let's see it. And as my, okay, so here you have it on your screen. So that was the thing I received from a great friend of mine, a great entrepreneur who is right now, is it the good one? No, sorry about that. So Canada signed a secret Agile Nations Charter with the World Economic Forum. Like if this buddy will be with you. But you'll see, stay with me, keep with me. Don't scream too far. This is fiction. This is far from fiction. You heard it from a member of Parliament of Canada saying like, hey, are you aware of this? That we signed the treaty, and that was in November, and now they probably at the multi-stakeholder effort. This is what I want. So Steve Denning is calling about reinventing capitalism. Well, and I'd like to know more about that. I really like the guy, but the WEF is calling for a multi-stakeholder type of capitalism. What the fuck does that mean? We should, I mean, like capitalism is the economic system of exchange. It's good and bad, I know, but we should, I mean, and this is the thing, according to the opportunists, because that's what they are at the WEF, agile governance is the adaptive, human-centered, inclusive, and sustainable policy making, which acknowledges that policy development is no longer limited to government, but rather is an increasingly multi-stakeholder effort. So this is sugarcoating lip service. All bullshit. The problem with that is, and of course, anyone with an IQ below 60 will fall for it and will say like, oh yes, but could you imagine like right now, according to the state of Agile and my 10 reality check I provide you last week, could you imagine that right now only 18% of the companies out there could say they are really in Agile governance? And those fucking clowns, those fucking motherfucker clowns, they lip service us with now the government will be there. But what about the democracy? What about the open space? What about the real diversity? What about the real, implication and engagement of everyone? I'm all on for self-management within a decentralized or distributed network of people. The Freedom Cells Network, it's one of the answers. And speaking of answers, I just want to make it clear here about something. Because I know, for those of you who follow me, I could see also that you follow Jordan Peterson and the Daily Wire. And now Jordan Peterson made an appearance in Ottawa last week. And he started proposing an alternative to the World Economic Forum. Well, first, on the objective reality and on the objective concept, I'm all for it. More we are alternative, the better it is, especially for a decentralizer like me. But maybe at the beginning, could we look at what the John Bush and Derek Bros are doing at the Greater Reset and Freedom Cells Network? And could the group that Jordan Peterson want to create, that's what I said, like, yes, I'm a decentralizer, but maybe a distributed network could be a nice linkage, because together and different is my device, is my device. So don't left to my own devices. Together and different. So we could be different. So now we see that, and they want to ask question, which is great. So Jordan Peterson, Alternative to the World Economic Forum, will be about asking questions, which is great. But for us at the Freedom Cells Network, which decentralization and open source and respect of individuality and the choice of the group, we are moreover talking about what? We're talking about what? We're talking about the emancipation of individual and respect of one another, and we are co-actively co-creating something wiser, better, and smarter than those. And since the beginning, I start involving myself in the Freedom Cells Network, a distributed network of people who wants to live alternatively to the imposed government, national states, and the World Economic Forum way of bringing the Western world, because that won't happen. These first world will create maybe their kind of new world order, but that will be only one big supra state of, as they say, stakeholders, whatever. So the thing. So once again, it's a lip service to seduce you, to hypnotize you, but what are the concepts behind it? What is the philosophy behind it? And now I was supposed to do a show today about dissident agility. So here you have it, kind of. And I was supposed also to be talking about the consequences of Chat GPT 4, 5, and so on, that will create even more fakeness, even more pretending. So my point is, if there's, and we're going to see the source in Canada of this agreement, this secret agreement signed in November of 2020, just right on time for the 25th years of the, whatchamacallit, the SCRUM guide. So Canada and Denmark, Japan, Italy, Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and the UK signed on the globalist agreement 2 years ago during a panel that was put together by the World Economic Forum. And as I said, it's the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD. So it's essentially Western Europe, or the Europe community, Canada, United States, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and Japan. So that will be one of the block of the upcoming multipolar world that we are going to inside it. So the irony is that the Agile Nations Charters was signed between our government and the World Economic Forum at the same time that Canadians were complaining about charter violation within our own country. So you see, it's a transfer of responsible citizenship, okay? It's not just freedom and rights. We have also responsibility, more than go to vote every 4 years. But now what they do with this kind of Agile Nation Charters to bring agile governance, what they are telling you, it's really elitist. It's really in terms of, okay, let me see you here, according to the Agile governance. So I read it already. So it's amazing, because under the banner of agility, that yours truly is understanding and try to bring more people to adopt it for the last 23 years, especially with the lean thinking system, organizational system of Scrum for team and organization, and we agilize everything. And yes, I was the first around that day, even in January 2020, before this coup d'etat of the pandemic. I was already mentioning, like, to John Bush and all the others, decentralizer, even within the Bitcoin movement, that agility will be the keystone of having the way that we interact with one another to co-create those great new community, those great civil governance, and so on. So for me, when you try to centralize a decision, like the World Economic Forum is proposing, and like even like some other non-governmental organizations such as the WHO, the World Health Organization, and so on. So the term agile being referred in government document without being adequately defined exactly, and on that, Mr. Ezra Levin, the director, editor in chief of the Rebel News, let me tell you one thing is even among agile people, even among our community of practice, we are struggling to define it properly as an adjective to help you make decision, to help you foster a better way, you know. So that's the real problem that we have right now. So that's why I'm no surprise that during the crisis we went through, just a few of us, maybe 5 to 10% of us, including yours truly, were able to help restaurant, to help tourist industry, to help some organizations, small and medium business, to continue to thrive during the lockdown and the pandemic because we applied a real agility tailored to the specific needs of their customer experience and a VUCA on steroid with the pandemic. All right. And also with the digital kind of adaptation that some people didn't have any procrastination anymore to do because if they want to deliver their food, they have to have means to have their client order through Facebook and Instagram on top of the Uber Eats and so on. And now don't come in the comment and say like, oh, those are globalist organizations. Fuck that, okay? At the end of the day, if Carlos want to deliver his pizza and their curfew, lockdown and everything, that was one of the great way. And actually, that's why they not closed. All of those who didn't do any alternative way, any agile way of delivering their food are right now closing the fucking door. And this is why I agree with Steve Denning when he wrote in April 2020, only the agile people will survive, but not the agile of the West, because the agile of the West seems to be an usurpation, another misleading. They do with Agile Nation exactly what they do with the CBDC, which is the central bank digital currency. They will make you believe that you get cryptocurrency as you don't have cryptocurrency. You have a digital currency, which is central control by central bank. They don't even hide it. They call it central bank. It's central plan. Okay, so that's no good for your experience. This is no good for your own agility because how could you be agile if you're confined into a 15 minutes city and if you're confined into having only one type of currency that will expire because you have to spend it because remember you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. They just want you as consumer. I'm not on those type of people who believe that slave landia and we're going to become slave. That concept, it's kind of we are too evolved type of for that. But for sure, they just want to reduce us to consumer, to great market of renewable. And when they say sustainability, they are thinking of their bank account. They are thinking of their profit. So they don't put the definition of agile for these agile nation is far from even the non-agreeable and conflict that we have. So that's the problem. So this is why for over a year or two, I'm kind of put myself away the agile community, especially Agile Montreal, that I'm coming for you guys because you don't get it. You are so stuck into the static of this kind of human interest. It's not a human interest that kind. It's the human experience. It's the human elevation. But when you just stuck yourself into a kind of a old model, but you said it's new, well, you don't get any innovation. You don't help your customer, and you don't help organization to create the real world of work that people have happiness and doing what they do because they never achieve anything. All right. So, and we saw it with a 10 again. I refer you, just go back and watch it again. The 10 reality check of the state of Agile right now in 2023. So the goofy of the West, of the WEF, and the West too, yes, because the Western civilization is in decay, if you ask me. And I cannot wait to be with my brothers and sisters of Mexico and Central America to be in a world of emergent, inspiring human interaction. So again, the WEF with this Agile Nations are doing the same manipulation of mine, the same info wars of mine with the word agile, because they fucking know that our pseudo community is not there at all. We are all in for the money, including yours truly at some point. I agree with that. Mike Beadle gave me a big smash in the face back in 2017 when I founded Agile Lounge. He was very disappointed that I chose that name. And my value. He said, you're better than that. But I said, like, yeah, but I'm also an entrepreneur. So I'd like to have multiple revenue streams. So that's why we have more and more other names like the FLEP to help entrepreneur, to help people becoming their own bosses. And we have also the cryptocurrency cohort of helping you becoming your own bank and so on. So I'm gonna act upon what I preach. But agility, it's agility. Agile, it's agile. So if you want to come with the A word, you could, especially when you see the McKinsey having an agile transformation office that makes shit, Accenture that makes shit, even Boston Consulting Group, they don't get it. So it's all the one size fits all make agile bullshit that never work, and they want it like this because they could renew the contract and said like, we have to do an audit again and we have to do more training, so it's more money for the consulting firm. You see, with the Agile Launch for Business Agility, though, my 5 coaches and I, we are intervening with you practically. I'm telling you, after 3 hours workshop, you already have a pre-refined backlog, because that's what we do. We emphasize our training into facilitation session where you do the thing, and it's workshop where practically you work on your real thing. Fuck your Lego play. You're not a kid. You're a responsible adult that want to make a change and serve your client, period. That's it. And now, on top of having issue within the Agile community, now the World Economic Forum, that I know a lot of my colleagues with the reskillings and other bullshit that the World Economic Forum, think tank, and other kind of leadership group put out there, they think that, oh, this is so innovative because they associate technological innovation with agile, which is kind of true for agile software development with Scrum, better. But the thing is, agility, it's people first. It's your customer experience first with your product or your services. And it's your employee experience first who serve your client or build the product that your client using. So you see, yeah, you really have to wake up your mind. You have to make up your mind. I mean, guys, I don't know the fuck you doing with your little conventional agility, your little, you have those engineers with the things stuck in the past of agile software development, which is, of course, one of the keystone. And you have those people who pretend to be agile across the enterprise without knowing what is exactly business agility. Anyways, I'm disgracing right now, but that kind of an editorial of the Agile Wars series. It's an info wars, it's an information war. So let me show you now, if you think that Rebel News is not a reliable sources of news, and if you think that an MP of our parliament, our federal parliament, is just another cuckoo, but she represents her constituents, and their constituents, like me, have questions. So I will be glad to live in our constituency. So let me show you now the source of the source. Government of Canada, gouvernement du Canada, parce que nous sommes un pays bilingue au Canada, bien sûr, French and English. So look at it, and I'll put the link in the pinned comment of this show, especially on LinkedIn, YouTube and Rumble, so you'll be able to discover it by yourself, for yourself. So this is canada.ca, about government, treaties, laws, and regulations, developing and improving federal regulation, lip services for the organization change manager, and fake agile coach. You love this. You love this. Lip services. But are you doing a real improvement of the federal regulation? Are you really helping with agile governance? Do they know what is agile leadership? I doubt it, especially in Quebec. And now we just concentrate on the federal government because Quebec will be doing it worse if we were a nation. So modernizing regulation. They talk about fucking regulations. Anyways, so the charter. So you have it. You have it from the government, buddy. So what they sign in November 2020, it's already on the website. It's exactly like I showed you in the summer 2021 with the bio-digital convergence. People call me crazy, but it's there. It's reality. It's a reality check, motherfucker. Stop calling people conspirationists. I am not a conspirationist. They do it behind your back with your money, with your income tax. So the charter. And now I know when I share screen, you cannot see the link and the secure link, but this is really Government of Canada website. You'll discover it by yourself. If you still don't want to believe, if you still don't want to see it, and if you pretend to be a Scully against a Mulder, but let me tell you one thing. Your skepticism won't get you that far. And if you want to be my guest with the MAID program and have assisted suicide, be my guest and get out of the way. Literally get out of the way. If you just want to stuck yourself into make believe, pretending, fakeness and everything, I don't want to be your friend, your colleague or whatever. So just go play with ChatGPT and go fuck yourself, okay? So the reality check here, Agile Nation signed by our government of Canada, okay, to become the post-national and a better agile way of things. So in November of 2020, okay, 7 countries signed on the Agile Nations Charters, establishing Agile Nations as a forum for countries to collaborate on creating a global regulatory environment in which innovation can thrive. So those country members are Canada, Denmark, Italy, Japan, Singapore, the United Arab Emirates, and the United Kingdom. And the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, and the World Economic Forum, the WEF, also participate as observers, or should I say controllers. They are the watcher. They're making sure they get what they paid for. We are penetrating their cabinet. So priority areas for cooperation are data and communications, transportation, of course, your freedom of movement. So data and communication, digital identity, right there. Transportation, the 15-minute cities concept and approach that we do here in Griffintown with Valérie Plante in Montreal. So transportation, in this RAM we have in this electrification of transportation. So it's to control your movement. Medical dialysis and treatment, of course, imposing your treatment that you don't want to have. Clean technology. What the fuck does that mean? Is it electric car again or something else? Could be a lot of things. Legal and professional services, for sure, with McKinsey as the arm. Or the other the big four. And pro-innovation regulatory approaches. Wow. So the work plan started last year in October of 2021 when the member nation, the 7 countries I named before, the first Agile Nation Work Program. Let me see if this is going to work. If I click here. Let me go back. No, it is. Do you see? Yeah, the work program. And you see now we are switched to we are being switched to the UK government website. So if you think I'm making this up, and if you think that you cannot rely on the Rebel News, independent news organization, you are part of this non-realization. That's what I'm seeing about. And as you could see here, the gov.uk. So from canada.ca, we are gov.uk. Agile Nation Work Program 2021 to 2022. So it's happening right here, right now. So, and from the UK government is the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. It's a better name. So, and so they refer to the same thing that we have on our thing. And what I like is under this work plan, Canada will work with Agile Nation partners to address issues ranging from cybersecurity, here you have it, and digital technologies to the use of regulatory experimentation. And if I click here, what is Regulatory experimentation. Here you have it. I will let you continue to read by yourself, discovering it by yourself. You are inviting to do so. And let me know if you'll, in the comment below, if you'll agree with such a thing, because invitation is one thing, but then after. And let's look at it. The participating agencies and departments include Health Canada, Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, Standards Council of Canada, Transport Canada, and Treasury Board and Canada Secretary, of course. So the Treasury Board will be implementing the Agile CBDC, but it's not, it's a centralized Agile. Transport Canada is all about your movement. In their case, they're literally the port of entry, airports, and some kind of other communication means of transport. So freedom of movement. Standard Council of Canada, it's all about the patent and invention, and also the it's kind of the Canadian arm for the ISO, International Standard Organization. So this is where they regularize the conformity that any organization or company had agreed to, you know. And innovation, science, economic development, of course, it's that will probably include what I showed you last summer of the bio-digital convergence, or anything about AI, or anything about what science and innovation and the economic development within a larger scale with the OECD that will influence the way we exchange together and so on and everything. And Health Canada, of course, should I be more precise? So here you have it directly from the source. So this is absolutely not a conspiracy theory. It's not even a theory. It's a practical thing, like the reskilling, like the CBDC, like everything. Everything is there for a central plan, Western, well, supra country with a stakeholders governance. Stakeholders is a key word for scientific, engineer, and apparently high potential individual that know better than you, and they could formulate policy, strategies, and program and model to impose on you after the way you live in smart cities, central plan smart cities, and even control when you go across the country, outside your country. So that's kind of, you know, it's all about control and command. So you must obey or else. And now this will create so much dehumaniz. It's a dehuman. For me, it's a Jesus Christ, even en français, déshumanisation. We are not a human being anymore. We are not a light being having a human experience. We are without conscious. We call things agile, but it's no more an adjective that help you make decision, a great word. No, it's just the name, a brand that you go out and kind of. And by the way, for those detractors out there who say like, why don't you do more meaningful kind of live streams and podcasts? Well, I'm applying what I'm preaching. I'm decentralized. I'm diverse. I am a multi-dimensional being. So sometimes I could do your 7 thing to refine your backlog properly, 5 tips for Agile coach to increase their consultancy delivery services. And I could do also those editorial. That's why you will see the logo change sometimes according to the series that I'm doing. And I'm doing things with the memory of Serge Bouchard in French and stuff like this. So Agile Launch for Business Agility and the Dare Real Agile podcast, it's a diversity of subject, but the main goal is the real McCoy of what is Agile for software development and what is business agility and what is really Scrum with the substantion. So that's why even my guests, when they come on, so they could have a divergent ways. I receive people who really love the World Economic Forum with the reskilling, Sabine Fabre. And don't get me wrong, there's a difference between individual and it's nothing black or white. It's all kind of gray zone of things. There's probably a lot of good things that came out with those workshops at different type of level of the World Economic Forum. The issue I have is when they use to push the central bank of this world with CBDC, and they try to and the shafts that we are in for both the blockchain evolution and the business agility movement. So when they interfere with even more fakeness, with even another agenda, and they dilute it into the already conflicting world of what we try to achieve. So for me, it's manipulation. It's not invitation. It's pushing on us instead of pulling. So if 82% of the organization worldwide, according to the state of Agile, are not agile, they are not adopting the guiding principle of agility to make the organization really agile in the sense of the interaction of the employers, the satisfaction of their customers, between the lip service and pretending to be agile and what's going on really in the trench. And now you have those supranational organization that just take the buzzing bullshit word of LinkedIn and Medium and they put it on steroid into the governance and the government of this world. That's small countries, UK, Italy, Canada. Sorry. So, and again, it's for kind of a dictation of where we should go. So I'll stop right there. And the pine comment of YouTube and Rumble, you'll have the link to the Agile Nation Canada.ca, and from there you could go to many other links. So I will put that link as a reference to show you the reality, the objective reality of it, not just another fla. And for those of you who like this, please smash the like button to make sure that this video will be proposed, especially on the YouTube algorithm, kind of very bizarre. And if you'd like to become our client and taste the real Scrum, the real business agility, and helping your people serving your client, please go to agile-launch.com and become our client by asking for your free up to 90 minutes discovery. There we could do a pre-assessment of your needs and more. So do it. I could put myself available in a couple of weeks. And if you're new to this channel on Rumble and YouTube, please subscribe and hit the notification. We mostly air every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time live. And as today, authentically, I'm telling you, this is a pre-record because right now, at this moment you're watching it, I am recording another one that doesn't want to go live. And I want a quality with this very special and surprise entrepreneur in the digital sphere. So I can't wait to do this, and then that will be next Friday the 10th that you're going to see this interview is all go right too. That's why I'm not doing it live, because this person is busy as I am, so that's why we have a buffer here. So maybe on the 10th you won't have it, and then after I might take 2 weeks off as I'm going to be in Mexico doing an ancient civilization tour. And I might take a break. I don't have time to pre-record everything, so we'll see. Or we'll pass you on some of our greatest show that people ask for. So, and quick note here: only the meetup people knows that, but we're gonna send you a newsletter if you subscribe to our value list. Scrum Beer number 21 should be in Austin, Texas, on March the 23rd. And I just realized that that's the anniversary of Mike Beadle. Tragic event. I didn't make it on purpose. I'm always choosing the last Thursday of the month. So and this will be a very special Scrum Beer. It will be a tutorial Scrum Beer explaining and presenting Enterprise Scrum by Mike Beadle for business agility. And I just realized after that the date was his anniversary, so it's meant to be. So it might be an hybrid event, which is the presentation that could happen in Austin, Texas, will be televisualize into the YouTube channel or what have you. So we'll see about this. We have to refine this, and we'll provide you the shippable product very soon in your mailbox for you to subscribe and everything. So that was it. I think that was it for now. And see you next week. Things are going fast. And please tell me in the comment, a question for you in the comment below. I hope you learned something with me. And could you teach me something? Is there, what's your view about it? I'd like to hear about you, about this centralized, distributed, or decentralized way of helping people adopt agility? And do you think the real agility and business agility should be more distributed and decentralized than central proposed by this agile nations? And every time government touch something, it's making a mess, especially here in Quebec and Canada. I hear the same from France and UK and everything. So, and the United States don't talk about it, federal between the other governments. So I don't think they will use agile like they use digital currency to mislead you and to put you far away from your choice, your real liberty of choice. So once again, remember who you really are, guys and girls. And I know women get it more than men, by the way. So you are a wonderful human being. You are a powerful human being that have choice and free will to be whoever you want it to be and to do whatever you want it to do, but with the golden rule and respect of one another. Cheers, and see you next Friday, hopefully with a very special guest, a digital entrepreneur, a world citizen.